from?
My car.
Her car. Her car, because learning had to happen for her younger children, and why waste time when you can live stream while your children are getting tutored?
There you go.
Like,
That's
this
true.
is like, don't waste. We were like, let's not waste time. Let's make it.
Wasting time.
So
they're getting tutored, and we're going to tutor.
we're going to tutor.
Tutor
We are
on
here to
intimacy.
teach.
And intimacy. And check our hair out, because I haven't looked for my hair all day.
Apparently, my hairdresser is currently very concerned about my hair because I posted a funny picture of my hair being like.
Did she message you?
She was like, "Girl, you need to get in to see me ASAP."
Joe is gonna kick your butt.
Yeah, I'm gonna get me in trouble because I went snorkeling with extensions, which are up. So
I don't know how you did what you did. I've snorkeled with extensions a lot.
it was the life vest. I need a
You
child's
snorkeled?
life vest. I do, because the life vest, like the adult ones, come up to like
Swallows you.
it swallows me and it rubs the back of my hair.
Do that again.
Like, I should start singing the old hair song. But that is not what our live stream is about today.
Could be.
It could be.
Extensions, snorkeling.
That's a level of intimacy.
It is.
That is definitely a level of intimacy.
Your boyfriend gained a new level of intimacy.
Yes, he did, because he's
You
like,
got to see the evil side
he
of Addison.
totally did. I was like, I'm not mad
Don't
at you.
talk to me. Get the
But
F out
I
of
was,
here.
no, I was like, I'm not mad at you right now. But this might just be a moment where you need to walk away and let me stay in the shower by myself and try to get this mess out of my hair. It was a moment. It was a moment in the relationship. It was a new level of intimacy. And he's gonna watch this and kill me. But it's okay. So we are talking about intimacy today, though.
Yes. Are we talking about sexual intimacy or intimacy in general? Like, just to...
All of it.
Okay.
All of it.
Okay.
Because we are sex and relationship coaches and abundance coaches
I
and
just
life
wanted to
coaches.
clarify that our word of intimacy, our choice of word of intimacy, does not just relate to sex. Because a lot of the times people use, I want to have intimacy with you, meaning I want to have sex with you.
Which sex does not equate to intimacy.
A lot of
It doesn't.
non-intimate sex.
Oh, I've had tons of non-intimate sex. Like, it happens.
That happens, yeah. That happens. Sex is non-intimacy.
Even with the people that we are actually in
That share a lot
intimacy
of
with,
intimacy with, yeah.
we can have non-intimate sex with the people that we would go, no, I am in intimate relationship with that person.
Yeah.
But that moment, that was not intimacy.
Yeah. Yeah. That was just friction. That was just something else.
So how would you define intimacy?
Intimacy would be to allow somebody to see you at a deeper level of surrender, of vulnerability. I think that intimacy has a lot to do with vulnerability. And you really just, those little facets of self that are revealed over the course of a relationship. You know, a lot of the times I've been in different relationships where somebody will come to me and they'll say, you know, like we're on date number 3 and they feel the need to basically, throw up all over me their past 30 years, and they need to tell me all these little details that really I don't care, you know, like I'm just like, I don't know.
Relevant at that moment.
Relevant in that moment. I don't need to know that. I'm like, are you trying to scare me away right now? Are you trying to prove to me that you're 100% truthful? Why do you feel the need to tell me this? Do you feel shame or guilt around something like this when you're trying to clear your chest on it? Like, what's the purpose of telling me stuff? Because I had one gentleman, he revealed to me about like that he had slept with a prostitute in the military. You know, he even showed me pictures of her. He did all this kind of stuff, and it was all of that. And I was just like, and we didn't even know each other.
You're like, I don't need to know this.
I don't need to know this. Like, you know,
it's a level of intimacy we are not at.
Right. And I'm thinking to myself, and the reality is that even if you were in a long-term relationship, some of that stuff doesn't really need to be known. And I think that we believe that we need to share all these things with somebody else in order to really truly know them, or in order to really be truthful, authentic with them, or to prove our love, or to show our love. And when we're in relationship, part of relationship is getting to know the other person. I mean,
Yes.
like that is, but that doesn't mean that you have to know every single detail of the other person's mental, emotional, physical, current state or past states.
This is very true. And actually, it's been proven in research, and Brene Brown, who I love, Brene Brown's work, talks about it all the time, is that when you have those kind of like, I'll call them throw-up moments, where you're sharing everything, all your vulnerabilities, you're actually it is a lack of vulnerability. It is you protecting yourself from being hurt. So you throw everything up to somebody and you go, blah, here's all my shit. And it's in order for you to not have to feel it when they reject you.
Right. So get it all out there on the
So it's not intimacy. That is not like I'm going to connect with you.
Armor.
I want to see within you. I want to share deeper pieces of me. That is, it's armor. It is armor. But
so what do you do when somebody has the expectation that you should consistently reveal intimacies about your mental, emotional, physical, current and past at a deep level, like all of it right now? I want you to give it all to me right now.
That's actually where I'm going to get guarded. As a woman, I'm going to be like, no, you don't get to know that. And actually, that steals my opportunity to have an intimate moment with you. If I am being forced or pushed to share all my shit with you, it steals my opportunity to actually have a moment and to connect.
I look at it kind of like this. Relationship is kind of like a rose bloom. Okay?
Yeah.
So the rose, it's really, really tight, and it's wrapped up with its pretty little green, leaves around it and everything. And then you start to see the red, the pink, whatever the color is, right? So it starts to open there, and then it opens up a little bit more, and then it opens a little bit more, and opens a little bit more. But when somebody is trying to force intimacy, it's kind of like they're standing there and they're screaming at the rose, why won't you open up? I want you to open up right now. And they're not willing to wait the time frame that it takes for that rose to actually emerge on its own will.
Or they start picking at it. What ends up happening is it just rips.
Tear it apart.
They
end up destroying the rose in some fashion or form. The rose either remains really, really tight, and they get frustrated and irritated with the rose because it won't do anything. So then they just walk away from the rose, right? They just say, I'm done with this rose. I'm going to go yell at another one. Or, which is sheer insanity, right? Or you grab a hold of the rose and you're like, I'm going to force this, and I'm going to really get in there. And then you end up destroying the rose. You destroy the relationship. You destroy that other person's trust in you. You destroy the connection that you were experiencing because you've just ripped them to shreds over they're not moving fast enough for you. They're not being, open enough. And then you're questioning constantly, which puts that person underneath a critical eye as well. Because if you're like, well, why won't you tell me more? Why won't you tell me that aspect? Why won't you share this? Why? Tell me. I want to know everything. I just want to know more about you. No, I don't want you to tell me what you want me to know. I want to know it all. I want to know it all. I want no more mystery. No more mystery. I just want to know everything. Sorry.
I'm really a little traumatized in the car. Can somebody come and save Addison Bell? I'm at location. No, and in truth, that actually happens. I've had men in my past, and guys, you suck at this, but I've had men in my past do that to me as well, and it's like, no, like, I get to keep some of me. I get to keep some of me for me. And this kind of goes along with our topic from last time about, like, the pooping and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's the truth of, like, we get to keep something for ourselves. And when we try to force intimacy, it is fake. It is fake intimacy. And you were bringing up, like, the ripping of the rose, and then you had asked about, like, is sex intimacy? But that also kind of goes in that category, too, with sexual intimacy, too. If you're not going to give it the time to expand and open and flourish, you're going to do damage. You're going to do damage.
Forced intimacy is definitely not a turn on. It does not benefit the relationship in any fashion.
No, you create barriers.
Intimacy is an organic process of opening up over the course of time. It is.
And it's these little shares, and guess what? Even in a committed relationship, there will be moments where the intimacy is not as exaggerated, and then there will be moments where you do have some really beautiful connected moments and intimacy, but you have to get used to the flow. Now, there's nothing wrong with if you're feeling and as we're driving into the little tutoring place, I said this to you because we're talking about doing this topic, and I said, like, I don't feel like there's anything wrong with, like, especially if I'm in a relationship with somebody and it's a consistent relationship with somebody going, hey, I'm feeling like our intimacy is off. Like, I would really like to spend some time getting, maybe working on building our intimacy. That is in, like, committed, romantic, even deeper friendships. But that is, like, I'm sharing my desire. And then you just fucking drop it. And yes, I said the F word on Free Spirit Talks, but that's when you drop it. Oh, well. We're not going to promo this video anyway. As I've just decided. No, but, like, that is when you drop it. It's not the request to, hey, I would love to get to know you more. I am really feeling called to, share this intimacy with you, or to have more time to explore our relationship. That's not the problem. It's the pushing. Mm-hmm. That is the problem. Because I think it's actually a beautiful thing if I'm in a relationship with a man and he comes to me and he's like, I'm feeling like I want to build some more intimacy with you. I want to share more with you. Like, is there anything I can do? Can we have some more time? Can we take 30 minutes a week and just ask each other, like, questions?
Right. Yeah. No.
But that's not what we're talking about here.
No, it is the forced or the expectation in any relationship when somebody is trying to force intimacy to happen at their rate of return, not at its natural flow.
Yeah.
And it's just, it really does. It causes constriction in the other person to open up at all. Mm-hmm. And it's going to end up, it's the tearing apart of the rose because of that high expectation level. And I've experienced where people actually get really frustrated because they're not receiving the level of intimacy that they feel they deserve or that they desire in a relationship.
Ooh, the deserve word. Ooh. Ooh.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
You deserve nothing. Nothing.
And that's the reality. Even in our relationship, I don't owe you anything, you don't owe me anything. Like, we get to choose to be friends and colleagues, moment to moment.
And I don't deserve your intimacy.
I did owe you for the chairs, and I did pay you for the chairs.
You did.
But, yeah, I'm like, I owed you for chairs.
Yeah,
right? Did I Venmo
you paid. You Venmo me. It's
okay.
good.
Okay, I Venmo'd her. Yay.
That's talking financial owing, not.
But yeah, that's really the legitimate thing there, right? Like, so I owed you for chairs, but I didn't owe you an explanation as to, why did I Venmo you and not PayPal you?
Yeah.
Or maybe,
what you ate for dinner, like
you really must know. Okay, fine. Here, no. No, I don't owe you every detail of
your life.
I remember my mom. Oh God, this is a topic. If she were here, she'd go, no, you should tell me. I need to tell you everything, because she was the person who would call me up at 11 o'clock at night to tell me a play-by-play of her day, and she would take 2 hours to condense down her 14 hours of topics down to, like, literally how many pieces of toilet paper she used sometimes, or in what shows she watched, and how much food she consumed, and how it felt in her body, and I should catch this on the news, and make sure that I do this, and make sure I do that. And then if she went on a trip, she would have to tell me everything about the trip. She could have no intimacy with self. Mm-hmm. And I think that where our topic actually probably should go, and I'm deeming this the direction now. No, we were getting there anyway.
Yeah.
The direct really truly is that I don't owe anybody intimacy.
I don't owe anybody
intimacy. Nobody owes intimacy to somebody else.
Married, not married, friend, lover, partner, colleague, doesn't matter.
That it is something that is developed. It is something that is developed over time, much like trust and respect and love even comes over the course of time. It is a revealing process, but that even at that, we should never expect from another person for them to reveal every single aspect of themselves to us. We actually, strong people in themselves hold intimacy with themselves first.
Yes.
And there are things that we should hold for ourselves and not share with any other soul on the planet. And that is different for every individual on the planet, you know? It's like,
what those intimacies are.
Those little things inside of you that you're like, no, that's just between me and God. And that is it. It's just between me and God. But we get into these relationships where it is almost expected, and it is expected in a lot of relationship to share even that. And then I love it when I get told, well, you lied to me because you didn't share that with me. So I didn't share this intimacy with you, so that means I lied to you. Yes. Because you should have told me everything.
Did you ask? Sorry, we have 2 burgers in the car. I'm like, did you ask the question?
Did you ask the right question?
Did you ask the right question?
Right, and even then,
even at that, there's still boundaries and there's still times to go, I'm sorry, you don't get the answer to that question right now. Or, I'm just not willing to, not even right now, I'm just not willing, that's
an intimacy that I'm not willing to share. Yeah. I love the question that you see on dating profiles that says, what's the one thing that you don't want anybody to know?
And you're like, well, why would I?
And I've always written on that question, if the one thing I don't want you to know, I'm not going to share here. Why would I share the one thing I don't want anybody to know here? Like, why? Why would I do that? Yeah. That makes 0 sense to me.
Because it's a stupid question. Let's be honest.
If I'm going to share it here, that means I've just told the 1,000 people that's coming through this page an intimacy that I'm claiming that I don't want anybody to know, but I'm now putting out
that just
for
shows lack
knowledge.
Of boundaries.
I'm like, oh yeah, run me over.
Yeah.
No.
Well, and I almost so when people are pushing for that level of intimacy, it shows a lack of depth within themselves that they're not able to get to, so they're feeling like they must suck that depth out of somebody else. That's what it says to me. When somebody continues to push, and the fact is, you're not lying if you don't share intimacy. Now, if you lie, but that does not mean that
if you're asked a question and you lie about it, or if it is something that is pertinent that somebody, let's just take on sex, right?
Yeah, let's
just say that you go to bed with somebody and you have unprotected sex, and you know that last week you slept with somebody and you didn't get tested, and you don't know, and you've got a little something flare up going and you don't know what it is, but then you turn around and you have fair sex with somebody and you just
That's a lie.
And you just did not talk about it.
That's a lie of omission.
That's a lie of omission, and that is potentially severely dangerous for
you had a orgasm 10 years ago that was freaking amazing with this other partner, and you didn't share it with your new partner. No, that's an intimacy.
Yeah.
That's a moment. That's not a lie.
Yeah. It's that's not needed to be shared. Those little things, even all the childhood memories and stuff,
I don't need to know if you won the spelling bee in 2nd grade.
You don't want to know that?
If it was a pivotal moment in your life and you wanted to share it, that's cool.
I won state nationals for the speech contest.
Cool.
In 8th grade.
Good for you.
I came in 3rd and 7th. Got my picture in the newspaper and everything. It was a special little moment. Hey, it was all the rage in Catholic school.
And I'm sure you're really proud of that.
I am. I think about it every single day.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Not really.
I can't know you as a person. I can't truly know you as a person if I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
And that's something that I don't want to share with anybody else. So let's just keep it between us.
Okay. All right. Alrighty. And this is a little delusional today.
This is water.
Do I need to drive the car home?
It's just water. It's good water. I'm just kidding.
It's good water. No, but there is, it is. It comes down to you're not connecting with self. You don't have intimacy with self. You haven't built boundaries within self. If you are continuing to push on somebody else, and the fact is we don't owe anybody anything. Like, get the fucking clue, guys. Like, because I've already cussed in this. I've already cussed in it, so I might as well keep going, because that's just how I roll. I have a mouth like a sailor. Everyone's like, oh, you're so cute, Addison. I'm like, yeah, until my mouth starts going. I was born in New York. What do you expect from me? I'm a New Yorker. I'm an Italian New Yorker. But I had a point, and you ruined my point. Yo, you don't owe anybody anything. We don't. I'm sorry. If you are a grown adult, no one owes you anything. No one owes you anything, especially the intimate pieces of their inner workings, their world, things that have happened to them, what's going on in even this moment. So if I'm in a fight with a partner, a friend, something, and they're like, well, what are you feeling right now? Guess what? They're not owed that answer. Now, would it be helpful? Yes, it would. But if I'm having a moment, I have the right to go, I'm having a moment. I'm keeping my thoughts to myself and feelings to myself. We're going to come back to this.
Yeah. That's called the pause button.
That's the pause button.
Yeah. Pause.
But no one is owed that. I get people even on my live streams that are like, well, why don't you share more about, your intimate workings of your sex, or intimate workings of this or that, or why don't you show pictures of the guys you're dating? Or I'm like, because that's mine.
Sure, intimacy. Oh, or every time I cause a stir and somebody's cussing me out, they feel like they're owed a response.
No.
And then they go off. You can see people going off on me because I didn't choose to respond to their stupidity. And I'm like, what's that whole saying about arguing with stupid, And you can't argue stupid.
Yeah.
You're always going to win. And I was like, so I just choose not to. But there's like this owing mentality of, I put something here, so you owe me this. Or I'm doing this, so you owe me that. Well, that's great, but I didn't ask for it. And I don't owe you anything.
And intimacy is an energy. We know when we want to share the energy, and we know when we don't want to share the energy. And if the energy is just not there, the energy is just not there. Even if there is a relationship built,
there's a way.
Still,
you're not friends with everybody.
Nope.
Why? Because you don't.
I don't like everybody.
You don't like everybody. You can't have a friendship relationship with everybody.
No.
You are not having sex with everybody. Most likely.
Nope.
I mean, nobody is having sex with everybody.
Nope.
Because I'm not having sex with everybody. And if they were having sex with everybody, then they would have had sex with me, and I didn't have sex with them. So I'm pretty sure they are not having sex with everybody. That was dingy.
That was pretty awesome, though.
Wasn't that really cool right there? I even followed through all the way.
I was like,
you play that back. Replay. Okay. Yeah, I'll never be able to do that again.
Yeah.
But the reality, I feel like Three's Company all of a sudden. Remember that show?
I do. I am that old.
Yeah, the show. I was like, wow, this is a lot of Three's Company.
I am that old.
But no, it's like we don't have sex with everybody. Why?
Because we don't like their energy. We don't want to share it with them.
We're not sexually attracted to everybody. We choose not to go there with every single person. There's all these different things. I don't shop at every store. I only shop at the stores that I'm called to shop at.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take on everybody as a client. I only take on the clients that I feel aligned to.
Yep. And there's lots of clients that both of us turn away.
I don't go and pick up every stray on the road to be my pet at home.
That'd be a full-ass house. You already have a pretty full house.
If
with
I
all
wanted
those
a
kids.
pet, then I'm going to choose a pet that I want.
Yes.
That I am aligned to. I'm going to choose a partner that I'm aligned to. I'm going to choose a client that I'm aligned to. I'm going to choose a friend that I'm aligned to.
Yep.
The only thing that I don't get to choose is my parents and my children, because God just gave those to me, and I that's that.
And
but
even with them, you don't owe the intimacy.
Right. You still don't, there's different relationship boundaries within your family scenarios. But this concept, and like we were talking in the driving over here, of, I had mentioned to you, I'm like, what is it with guys thinking that just because they desire you, that you should desire them? I'm just not into you. Why is that a bad thing that I'm not into you like that?
You're allowed to have your feelings and your desires, and I'm allowed to have my feelings and my desires.
Just because you have yours and they're opposite of mine does not mean that I need to cave to make you happy.
No.
Like, that would be completely disrespectful to our relationship, disrespectful to you, and most certainly disrespectful to myself.
Yes.
Like, that is not showing any self-love at all. That is just showing somebody that's a doormat that's really like, oh, you want to sleep with me? But I don't really want to sleep with you. But since you really want to sleep with me, here, let me just pull up my skirts. Let me just pull up my skirts, and you have your way, okay? So that you'll be happy. Because I don't want to make you unhappy. And you say that you're into me like that. So maybe if we have sex, maybe then I'll be into you.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
Oh, I've heard that one. Well, if you just have sex with me, I can change your mind.
You promise?
Wow.
Me you can't.
Wow, if you'll just have sex with me, I can change your mind. Are you kidding? Are you kidding? The things that you gentlemen say sometimes. Yeah. It's an energy.
And sex is not going to equate to intimacy with a woman. Guys think, oh, well, like, I'll get it inside of her, and then all of a sudden she's just gonna, like, her heart's gonna open, and she's just gonna share all this stuff, and that's not the truth. It's not the truth.
No,
and
because I'm not into you, I'm still not gonna open at that level.
And guess what, men who are in, like, committed relationships with their woman, just because you're screwing her doesn't mean you have intimacy with her. Just because you got her to finally give in and have sex with you does not mean that you're building intimacy in that relationship.
It doesn't even mean that you're building love.
No. So I mean, you get the point that you're not owed intimacy, and that intimacy is an energy. And I want all of us to look at where we're pushing for intimacy that's not there, or we're expecting. We have some expectation around intimacy with those in our lives or not in our lives.
I think that if you're desiring intimacy with everybody else and you're frustrated with not having the levels of intimacy that you desire with other people, that the first place you need to check is the self. Because if you're not having intimacy between, like she's showing, between you and God, then you're never going to be able to have intimacy with somebody else. And if you're pushing somebody else to reveal themselves more and more and more to make you happy, to meet your level of expectation on the relationship or on that person, to prove something to you even, that is just you trying to control that relationship and that other person.
And that's control, not
and
love.
It's not love.
Intimacy.
It definitely isn't going to support intimacy. And again, you got to come back to self. Like, why am I fearful of intimacy with myself? Why can't I hold intimacy with myself? Why do I feel a need to share, every little freaking detail with other people or a chosen few even? Why do I feel a need to share at this level every single thing to just throw up? Like, what am I really masking here?
Mm-hmm.
Because you should be able to hold that energy inside yourself and not have to share it. And we as a society, we stink at holding emotion. We stink at really truly allowing ourselves to feel at a deep level. And we do lots of different things from, shaking our leg to biting our fingernails to, tapping our fingers, doing all these different things to avoid a feeling. We laugh, we do all this different stuff. It's
releasing the energy.
It's a release of energy in the body, which is great. We need to learn how to properly release.
Yes.
But then there are those things that we really need to get right with holding and allow ourselves to breathe so that we can feel we can really truly feel who we are and how we feel about something versus just popping it out early and just going, oh, that made me feel a little uncomfortable, so I'm gonna laugh like that. Or do some
self-inquiry.
Yeah, it is all about that inquiry.
Oh, why is this coming up? Why am I sharing this? Do I need to share this? How is this going to impact or help this? So,
yeah. Well, I think my kids are almost done with the tutor now.
Yeah.
It's been almost an hour, 45 minutes since I got here. So.
All right, people.
What do we have going on? What do you want to?
We have lots of sex. We have lots of sex. We have oral sex this weekend. And then we are not offering oral sex. Oh, wow. We have intimacies.
One person.
Well, okay, yeah, well, that's different. That's different. We have our oral intimacies this weekend, we both do. And then we have the Cock Connective. It's a men's workshop to connect with your sex, your masculinity, to help you connect with your woman, and at the end of the day, connect with yourself, because that's what it's really going to come down to. Connecting with self and increasing your own energetic body and sexual body. And then we have Female Orgasm Camp.
Yep.
Summer Orgasm Camp. And so we have an online version of all of these, and we have an in-person version. Camp is co-ed. It's for everybody. Men are be like, but it says female. Like, do I really need to come? You actually need to come more than the women need to come most of the time, because you need to learn your woman's body. You need to learn how to make her tick. You need to really understand even the neurological components that are going on inside of a woman. And women, you need to come too. So let's.
Yes, it is co-ed. It is powerful for each sex in its own way, but it is all on female sexuality. It's one of the most powerful classes of the year.
It's my favorite.
This is like, I think, the 10th year running on it, 9th or 10th year running on it. So very, very powerful workshop. Yeah, I mean, that pretty much sums up. There's a lot of other stuff out there, but
little things.
Yeah.
Go to our calendars.
Either one of our calendars has stuff in there. Lots of stuff. Everything's updated. Everything is going as planned. So if it is there, it is happening.
Yes.
Since I keep getting asked that. If it's there, it's happening.
So, and I only have 2 more weeks left of my consult special going on for the summer. So, just side note. So.
Me, I'm all full.
You're full.
I'm not doing consults.
You're full.
Well, I'll do consults if people want to wait 6 months. But, there you go. I'm full. Gonna hurt. Yeah.
I'm almost full too, but...
No, I can't say I'm not done. I'm done with that. So.
All right, you beautiful people. We will see you
Somebody
next time.
just commented on one of your pictures.
I know. People always comment about my... It's probably the hair. That my poor hairdresser is like, what has she done to my creation? It looks fine.
Yeah,
I fixed it. It just didn't look good in that picture.
It's horrible. It's scary.
All right, guys. We love you, and we'll see you next time.
Weeks.
Let's share.
KimberWilliams.com.
AddisonBell.net. Bye.